Hey guys, got a new Gdeck scaffold in here today. Just got the training that we're doing today. Right guys, we're here with Dave from Gdeck. He's going to explain our new Gdeck system. Got the boys here.
Morning lads. As Tony said, I'm Dave from Gdeck, the manufacturers. We're up in Leicester, so it's a UK based company, and we manufacture the Gdeck range of products. Three different systems. We've got the Gdeck standard system, which you've got today. That's a 600 kg per square metre loading ability. It can be freestanding, multi-lifts, you can make it into a trestle, a tower, or just a working platform, dependent on the project you're working on. So it will replace scaffold birdcage internally, and as long as you've got a flat level surface outside, you can get up the side of the building as well in a tower configuration. So Gdeck standard, 600 kg loading with the abilities that I've shown you. That's an example in the brochure of the system. Those are the traditional Gdeck legs. However, we now have what you guys have got, the multi-leg, where you can add and remove the locator lugs, giving you multi-level lifts and reducing the amount of overlaps in the system. We've also got the Gdeck light system. In the brochure there, as you can see, it's a steel galvanised tube with a plastic casing on the outside and a thinner gauge metal for the decking. That's only a 200 kg loading. It's ideal for quick installs and dismantles within timber frame where you don't really need the load bearing, but you've still got to have a working platform and a fall prevention system. So Gdeck light, 200 kg loading. The newest addition to the Gdeck range is Gdeck Dual. This is something we introduced quite recently, predominantly for scaffolders, if I'm honest with you, and that incorporates the same decks as what you've got. However, the legs are replaced by scaffolding tube, and the dual bracket slides on top of the tube, locates with the nut, and that then gives you the leg equivalent to what you've got, the leg system. You can cut the tubes to whatever height that you need. You can also, if you can see from the picture there, you can also insert scaff tube into the top of the brackets, giving you scaffolding handrails as well. If you need a freestanding structure, if your walls are green or for whatever reason, you can also then put tube and fit below with standard scaffolding components like with a birdcage, and then you can have it as a freestanding structure. So Gdeck standard, which you've got, Gdeck light, 200 kg loading, and Gdeck dual, 600 kg loading, but with the scaff tube as the legs. Them are the three different systems that we've got available. What we're going to do now is take you through the Gdeck standard erect, dismantle and inspection training. And the reason that we have that, let's just say that garage was being constructed there and we wanted our working platform to go inside. We'd put the main decks in until we try and fill the space completely, but quite often you can't, and there's going to be a gap somewhere. So you've got various options. You can either build to the wall and then overlay the decks, which I'll demonstrate to you shortly, or you can build from the walls into the middle, have your gap in the middle, and just like on that demonstration there, you would put the make-up decks all the way down the middle, strap them on either side, and that will lock the system into the wall. They weigh 5 kilograms. That's on the test later. Another component which you guys have invested in is the spring-loaded gate system. So when we make it into a trestle or a freestanding tower with handrails around it, you want to be able to get onto it with a safe gate system, and that locates quite simply. That connects into the V-press, slides into position, and that opens inwards, as we will demonstrate shortly with you. The other component is the ladder bracket. When you've got your gate there, you locate the ladder bracket next to it. You can then secure with one of the buckle straps, secure your ladder to that, and get up the ladder, open the gate, and you're onto your system there. Other components within the system, the buckle strap or the cam strap. 56 centimetres in length. There should be a spring-loaded ability within the clip at the end, and no cuts or burrs going through. These have got a couple of purposes. One, to hold the infill decks, the make-up decks, into position. They can also be used to tension the whole system so there's no movement in the platform. But you can also connect them together, and on a pallet like that there, you can go underneath the pallet, over the top, and then pull it tight instead of using the banding kit. So they are quite useful. Keep an eye on them, people will take them off site. Leave them in your van, don't leave them on site. They'll be connecting Harris fencing together, used as belts and
hair braids.
Right. The legs come in various sizes, lads. That's a 1.8 leg, and this is the new multi-leg, not like the one in the brochure that's there now. It's a very new component for us. Things to note on here, 1.8 in height. They will interlock within each other, so that pin and clip at the bottom, that can be removed, and take the foot off, and we put a spigot in there, and then another leg can connect into it to take it higher, up to 5.1 metres in height. That pin and clip there should be there when it's in use, not a nail going through or some other thing that you find on the building site. Another tip for you is to maybe have a little bag of 10 spare.
Yeah.
Because when the lads are then removing and inserting them, they can sometimes go adrift.
Yeah.
So that might be worth adding a little spare kit.
Yeah, definitely.
The reason that we've got the adjustability on the bottom is if we're building from one wall and we come to this wall and we decide that we want to overlay a deck to make up that. Obviously with one deck overlaid on top of another, we don't want it going like that at the edge of the platform, so that would give it the ability to go up to meet the same height, so it all remains level. So there's your 3-hole foot. We also do 6-hole feet as well, so if you want to go up to a 2.3 height with a basic platform, you can have a bigger foot if you ever wanted to invest in that. These locators are called V-presses, and that's where the fin on the deck locates into there. You've got the new multi-leg, and as Tony's seen this morning, we do have the ability of adding or removing these as you need. You may only need them like that with a set of V-presses at the top, because that means it's going to be in a wall-to-wall environment, and you don't need to brace it underneath. So literally you only need those ones on there, because that's only where you're going to be putting the deck. If you've got an environment, for example a double garage, where you haven't got a fourth wall to lean against, then you would want to introduce the cross braces underneath, which I'll demonstrate to you now, and then you can locate the cross braces so you're not reliant on the walls then, freestanding structure. Another advantage of this leg is sometimes when you're building your platform, you get to the wall, the deck fits flush with the wall, but you can't locate that in there because of that 50mm gap. You can now remove one of them so it will fit flush to the wall, hence reducing overlaid decks and trip hazards. So, plus when you haven't got those there and there, it's lighter as well. And trust me, if you're working all day just doing Gdeck, and so we do care homes, 950 square metres with 2 of you carrying it all in, the lighter it is each component, the better.
Yeah, definitely.
And the faster you can get it in there as well. Okay, so that's the leg. The V-presses, that would be called a 1.8 3V leg, because there's 1, 2, 3. That's a 1.8 1V leg, and if you just wanted to use it as a freestanding platform but with no handrails on, you would have one there and one below, so you can cross brace it below. That one in that configuration can be used as a trestle, which I'll demonstrate shortly. So you can put your platform here, handrail there and handrail there, and we'll demonstrate that in a minute. Bags, your blow up air bags. This gives you a proper working platform as fall prevention, but also that you can work from. It makes your construction area safer in the respect that you don't need to have the brickies working off the scaffolding. You don't need people loading out blocks on the scaffolding. All the scaffolding could be obstruction free, and everything can come onto the decking, provided your floor underneath is strong. This is when it comes into its own as a working platform. So first thing we're going to do is measure the room. I need you for today now, we're going to have to simulate because we haven't got a plot to work in or a room to erect it in, so we're going to do it imaginary in this. So let's just say our room is going to be this section here up to the corner there and back again. That's roughly 9 square metres that we're going to put up today. So the first thing we're going to do is measure and set out the room, and the way that we do that, we'll work from one wall and we'll roll the 1 metre deck. 1, 2, 3. So we're going to go 3 metres that way. 1, 2, 3. 3 threes are 9, so we need 9 square metres. If it was in that garage, we'd do the same. It might be 5 times 6, 35. You then times the square meterage by 1.2, and that tells you how many legs that you need. you need to make sure you've got enough kit to do the area that you're going to do before you start erecting it. Because what we don't want is to erect 3/4 of it and find we haven't got enough legs. You've then either got to sign it and document that to the site manager or somebody in responsibility, or you've got to strip it back down again. So you need to make sure that for the room you're building, you've got enough components to do it. So we've established we need 9 square metres for this area here. We'll leave the first metre free because we're going to build in that area there. So the first metre is going to be left free, and we'll then start stacking out against the wall. So I'm going to need 3 decks there. Yeah, please, yeah.